What is advocacy? I think a lot of us get uneasy with this word because we associate it with policy. We associate it with things that we see on the news that may not be so relevant in our everyday lives. So the purpose of this presentation is to kind of redefine this term. Redefine it as something that can be relevant and can be meaningful, especially for us as students to have a voice and to have a say. To me, put simply, I think that advocacy is all about helping put our profession forward. Using a sports analogy, I guess, it's about not sitting on the sidelines and letting people make calls for you and watching from the outside, but instead just playing an active role in shaping the profession of physical therapy. So today I'm going to cover 3 different ways that we as students can get involved, and some of which we can do actually just today on National Advocacy Day. Step 1 would be to write to representatives. And a lot of people get maybe cynical or shaky about this too because A, we may not necessarily know who our representatives are, and B, even if you do, taking the time to send an email or make a phone call to our representatives is kind of intimidating and just not realistic. So luckily, the APTA made this app in 2016 called the APTA Action App. You can get it for free on the Apple Store or Android or whatever device you have, and actually, if you're connected to the UTEP Wi-Fi right now, I strongly suggest you download it while I'm talking about it. You'll search APTA Action, and once the app is downloaded, you'll open the app and come to this page. And it comes with a lot of great resources, just different information about your representatives and advocacy materials, but the one I really want to focus on is this top middle button called the Federal Action Center. And when you click on it, it'll ask you to log in with your APTA ID. And once you just punch in those numbers, it'll take you to this page, or a page that looks similar to this. And since you logged in with your APTA ID, it already has your demographics and your kind of address. So it already knows which of the senators and congressmen represent your area, both at the federal and state levels. But it also shows you what issues are currently in the House or the Senate that are relevant to the profession of physical therapy. And if you're someone who, first of all, likes to know more information about any of the issues, you can just click those 2 left links, the read more links, to learn more about those issues. But then B, the purpose of this is to show you how easy it can be. So you'll see the take action hyperlinks kind of in the middle of the page, and you can click on either one of them, and it'll take you to this on the app or on the website, and it'll populate with which senators. Obviously, we're in Texas, so those are the 2 for Texas that you'd be writing to, but then the APTA already had a template made that puts in word for word an email that describes the issue at hand and how it affects the profession of physical therapy. It'll automatically sign this email for you, so literally all you need to do after you log into the app and click on the corresponding policy is at the very bottom, it has a button that says go, and you'll click that button and it'll automatically send that template to your representative. So it's a quick, maybe takes 30 seconds to do this, and that's why I'm a really big advocate for pushing for just having this app on your phone, and every couple months just checking it randomly and writing to representatives when it is easy to do so. And again, I do strongly recommend read on the policies before you do send them out, but just know that this resource is available to you. Something else you can do today is to post it to your social media accounts. For every single one of us, this will affect us as we go into the field, and APTA has been pushing for this hashtag ChoosePT campaign. As some of you may or may not already know, there is an opioid epidemic in the United States regarding basically chronic pain. And while opioids have been found obviously to help, they're strongly addictive. And so there's been a push, and kind of where our profession falls into play is to also be a cheaper and safer way to relieve your pain through physical therapy. And so if you are on Facebook and you already are part of the event, you can actually log into the event page and find this YouTube video that I shared last night. And it is just a 1-minute quick video you can share on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your Twitter, to just your friends, your family, and just anyone that follows you on your accounts. It's a great way just to really quickly just share that information out and start having a resource that you can share with your future patients. And so that's one really quick way you can be involved in the hashtag ChoosePT campaign, and feel free to do it right now if you can, if you have your phones on you. The last thing I'll leave you with is just to get involved. And there's obviously a number of ways you can get involved in your class in El Paso, and I'm just going to give you a couple more resources from the state and national levels. So one being the Texas Student Physical Therapy Association, which is the TSPTA here, Executive Board. I am one of the 7 members of the Executive Board, and I would say in general our time commitment for any of these positions is about 5 hours a month, save for the president, who has obviously more obligation and responsibilities for that position. And the hours kind of vary per month, just depending on what event is coming up. But in general, not as much of a time commitment as I initially thought, which is actually exciting and why I'm really promoting that some of you get involved next year. The term is from October to October, from the TPTA conference of the previous year to the TPTA conference of the next year. Applications will be due in late September, so just look out for an email from me if you're interested. But if you want to learn more about the positions and their corresponding responsibilities, here are their emails and contact information. And this is just how to get involved at the state level. How to get involved in the APTA and nationally, there's one really great way, I think, to get involved as a student with a little bit less time commitment, if that's what you're looking for, of course, because we're all busy as PT students. But they have these things called project committees, and there are several just different special interests. I'm currently part of the community service committee. There's 7 of us students from across the U.S. that are part of that committee, and we're working on different things like PT Day of Service and just incorporating physical therapy in the realm of community service, pro bono work, in that realm of topics. But there's also a handful of students across the nation in the Global Outreach Committee, a handful in the Interprofessional Collaboration Committee, which is basically PTOT speech, a handful for the National Student Conclave, some for professional advocacy for events like tonight, National Advocacy Day, and then different other liaisons as well. The time commitment for that's actually just 2 to 3 hours a month, so a little bit less. And the term would be from January to December, so it's just a full calendar year. Applications for that are due in mid-November. So I'm just introducing these to you now, so in case you are interested or would like to get involved at a formal position, please don't hesitate to contact me and I can relay you to the appropriate resource. Hopefully you'll find these useful, and I hope you guys have a great